There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports, Let Go, Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports, Let Go.
What's going on, everyone? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and I'm so sorry. I'm like 30 minutes late. I was actually watching the end of a hockey game. Oh, man. I literally missed out on a huge basketball slip tonight. Oh, my God. I cashed out like half of Twitter. Probably like $200,000 worth of cashes. It's crazy. But you know it is. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to SmackDown recap. Like I said, sorry that I'm late. It's midnight Eastern here, so it's already Saturday. So I do apologize. But we're live. I don't expect to probably get a lot of people. But yeah. So SmackDown, this was the Go Home SmackDown show of Saturday night. The Go Home to Saturday night's main event tomorrow. I've been live so many times this week that I'm like repeating myself. Just telling everybody that I'm live. So see if anybody wants to tune in. If not, it's okay. Because obviously I'll be live again tomorrow. And I did start late, so but I will go ahead and send it out to everybody. In case anybody wants to tune in. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. It was a 3-hour SmackDown tonight, obviously. Pretty good show. I felt like it was really good. You know, I did my Saturday night prediction show last night with Benny from, shout out to Benny from @Suds and Square Circle Media. He came on last night, and we did the Saturday night main event prediction show. Obviously, in typical WWE fashion, they added another match. But I'm not going to complain about it because it's obviously AJ Styles, and his career could be winding down, at Royal Rumble, possibly, but you just never know. But he obviously will be taking on Shinsuke Nakamura tomorrow, so we have a 4-match card tomorrow, so it's going to be fun, definitely, to break down the recap from Saturday night's main event tomorrow. Yeah, I'm getting on down until like the end of the week, but obviously then next week's obviously a big week because we have Royal Rumble predictions. And we have the Royal Rumble next weekend, so it's obviously going to be a lot going on. We're going to go ahead and get started because it's late, and I was supposed to start at 11:30, so it is what it is at this point, basically. Sure, most people are either went to bed but I mean, the show just went off the air like about 45 minutes ago, something like that. So tonight, the SmackDown is from the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It's, as I said previously, is the Go Home show to Saturday night's main event. And as I mentioned on Sunday Scoops and in several other GC chats, after the Usos won the tag titles, that we were going to be seeing the MFTs next, winning those tag titles off of the Wyatts. I thought maybe it would be like a crazy finish tonight, and maybe they ran it back tomorrow. I did talk to Mr. Vinny last night about I did figured they were going to like add another match to the card tomorrow. But you know, they did. So I'm glad they did. It's gonna be a good match. AJ and Shinsuke, that should be a banger of a match. So looking forward to that. It should all 4 matches are gonna be great. A lot of storyline going into that fatal 4-way. The Cody Jacob stuff was good tonight. Drew obviously said that he didn't attack Jacob, but if he didn't, then who did? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Could it be Cody? I guess we'll see. But yeah, this is a go home show where the WWE Tag Team Champions at the time, the Wyatt Six, Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, defend their titles against 2 members of the MFT. Plus, Damian Priest will go one-on-one, which they will see each other tomorrow in the Fatal 4-Way to determine the number 1 contender at the Royal Rumble for Drew McIntyre's WWE Undisputed Championship. Trick Williams goes one-on-one with Damian Priest. So the show opens up, and we see clips of Cody Rhodes, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, the Bougie Bully Lash Legend, Julia, Kiana James, the MFTs, and Drew McIntyre all arriving to the arena. So obviously, with this being his home country, basically his backyard, the show opened up with Sami Zayn, who is my pick tomorrow to win the Fatal 4-Way. Randy stood tall at the end tonight. I think Sammy's gonna win, even though I see something going on with him and Trick. But we also could see something going on with Randy and Trick as well. Trick's kind of involved with all 3 of those guys, so that's good for Trick, getting caught up, being intertwined with those 3. Obviously, Randy being 14-time heavyweight champion, Priest has been a world champion, and Sammy's held pretty much every belt except for the world championship, which at some point I believe he is going to get that. Shout out to Talking Up Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you give them a follow on X, as well as a subscription on YouTube. And make sure it's already Saturday. Make sure you tune in to DWE Radio today. I'm unsure of the time of that. I'll have to go back and look. But it will be on Miami the Great's Twitter page or Talking Up Wrestling. You can see it there. I'm sure it's pinned at the top of Miami's X page. But make sure you tune in to DWE Radio today. Should be a great episode. It's going to be, I believe it's going to be on X, but also it's always on Spotify. So you don't have to, look at somebody's face. You can, be jogging or do whatever you want to do and end up listening to the stream. So it's good stuff there. Definitely tune in to that. And we have Saturday Night's Main Event tomorrow, and I will be doing a recap. And I'm glad there's 4 matches. So, but make sure you give them Talk About Wrestling Podcast a follow on X, and definitely hit that like and subscribe button to their YouTube channel. That is Miami the Great and the Never Seen 17 Unseen Bling Queen Final Boss Baby herself. Shout out to Raymond. Raymond is actually in one of the GCs where I specifically said 3 weeks ago that the MFTs were going to win the tag titles. Right around the time that the Usos did. So, man, another win for the EVP. Which I have a lot to talk about Sunday on Sunday Scoops, because man, oh man, have I seen some stuff online. I guess I'm just gonna have to start clipping everything. But shout out to Raymond. Raymond is someone that is always very respectful. Doesn't blow my DMs up with questions, but always acknowledges stuff in the GCs when I post it way ahead of time, and get stuff right. Which I did with the MFTs. So shout out to Raymond. Shout out to DWE Replays for the repost and also to DWE Host. All right, so Sami Zayn has by his home country, backyard. Obviously, let's see a comment. When do you think that Cody will get his title? Down the line, my friend. It's a good question. Normally I don't answer that until Sunday, but you're not one of the ones that bug me all the time, so I will answer that for you tonight. The latest that I was told is Drew may go into WrestleMania as champion. Cody Rhodes is going to be champion no later than WrestleMania. He ultimately, like I said, could be the one that attacked Jacob. I'll have to find out more later today. I keep saying tomorrow, but it's already Saturday. But Drew's not going past WrestleMania with that championship. So all the love for Drew and all that, I respect Drew, but it's going to be a transitional championship run because Roman is going after Punk. So unless Triple H saw my tweets on X today and was like, fuck the EVP and I'm going to switch it around, have Roman go after Drew, which I don't know. It just wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. It just really wouldn't. But yeah, so I believe Cody Rhodes will win the Undisputed Championship back at Elimination Chamber or at the absolute latest WrestleMania, Raymond, back from Drew. So, and I will stand on that. I'll clip it. So Sami Zayn's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring to a loud ovation. He grabs the mic, starts off by welcoming everyone in French. Sami says it feels good to be home. He says tomorrow is a monumental day, but a strange thing in WWE. But he feels he has all of the momentum. Sami then says tomorrow night he has a chance in Montreal to become the #1 contender. I believe he gets it done. They're saying ole, 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 ole. They love Sami and they love him in Saudi. So then we get Trick Willie himself, Trick Williams' music that interrupts. He makes his way down to the ring. Trick says they are not on the same level. Trick then says he is Mr. 250 and Sami is Mr. Too Many Chances. I love that. Trick is killing it right now. Trick then says, let's talk about it. That's a little similar to Cody Rhodes and stuff, but I do like Trick. So I love what Trick's doing on the main roster so far. Trick then tells Sami his problem is that he cannot get the job done. Trick then says the last time Sami had a chance for the title in Montreal, he choked and didn't get the job done, which was against the OTC1 Roman Reigns, where Sami did lose for the title. Trick then says that is the difference between them. Trick says he gets the job done. Trick then says he is here to be WWE champion, and he will say it to Sami's faith in his city and in his country. So, love what Trick's doing. Sami then looks at Trick, and he says a few things are true. Sami says he did lose a title match in his city. Sami says it was a bitter pill to swallow. Sami then says you might be a future champion. Then says the thing Trick said that was right is that they are not on the same level. Sami then says you need to remember you step in this ring, you're dealing with the best of the best. Sami then says you have all of the potential. He said when you reach your potential, if you're lucky, you will be half as good as he is. Sami says if you think he is wrong, you can do something about it right now. Trick then says no. Trick then says he has other things on his mind. He says he has a match later against Damian Priest in the main event. So Trick is actually main eventing SmackDown, which is huge. Trick then says they can take care of business tomorrow in that Fatal 4-Way. I'm definitely looking forward to that Fatal 4-Way. So then Damian Priest's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring. Priest tells Trick, he said last week he does a lot of talking. Priest then says you have stepped to everybody and you talk to them. Priest then says, he came to your face last week and you didn't say anything. Priest then says he believed Trick is afraid of him. Priest then says, if you think if you say the wrong thing, he will drop your ass where you stand. I'm just not. I don't know. Ever since Priest left Judgment Day, I haven't been a big fan. I feel like he's been in a creative like funk. I just don't think they really know what to do with him. Priest asks Trick if he's afraid, then says go ahead and say something. Priest then says if you don't want to say anything, you can do something. Trick says they need to mind their business while grown folk is talking. Trick then asks Damien if he thinks he is afraid. He then says, do you think he doesn't know what to say or when to pop off? Trick then punches Sammy with the microphone. Priest then blocks a punch from Trick, and Priest punches Trick. Sammy then hits some punches to Trick in the corner. Sammy then pushes Damien and Trick. Sammy then pushes Damien, and Trick hits Priest from behind, and he bumps into Sammy. So we got a big, huge ass mess going on. Going in this fatal four-way. Trick then gets out of the ring. Things are getting ugly with these three. And obviously, then we see Randy Orton in the back watching. He's watching. He's not down there, which is a good thing. Like, why get caught up in that shit? Kathy Kelly asked Randy for his thoughts and why he didn't get involved. Randy said, with all due respect, what the hell kind of question is that? Randy then said, this is the year of the Viper. Randy then says he will win gold for the 15th time. Randy then says it does not start tonight. It starts tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event. Randy then says he will beat all three men and go to Saudi Arabia where he will fight Drew McIntyre for the title using the three most dangerous letters in sports entertainment, and that is RKO. I don't know. Maybe getting that heel turn from Randy. I don't know. It's just so hard to tell which way they're going with it. Like they have me even confused. We see Carmella Hayes from earlier today talking with Ilya Dragunov. Hayes tells Dragunov he was impressed with last week's match against Sammy. He then tells him that the challenge is open. Dragunov says he lost last week and he was bruised from last week. He then says, do you think he is in a condition to wrestle tonight? Dragunov then accepts the match. Miz then says it looks like Dragunov and Hayes are friends. He then says, what happened to people who hate each other? Miz gives advice that you don't hand out opportunities. Miz then asks Carmelo what Dragunov ever did for him. Hayes then tells Miz that Ilya Dragunov did more than he ever did. So again, Miz is just all over the place on these episodes on SmackDown. He's just showing up, just doing random shit. So Carmelo makes his way down to the ring for his first match of the night, for the first match of the night, and it is a rematch from when Carmelo Hayes won the title from the Mad Dragon Ilya Dragunov. So it's a United States Open Challenge rematch. So the match starts off with both men locking up. Dragunov misses a kick and he blocks the first 48. This match was phenomenal. I did miss like the first 5 or 10 minutes of this match. I think I dozed off for a second. Both men continue the exchange with chops. Dragunov cinches in a waistlock. Hayes hits a back elbow to the face, and Dragunov goes down. Dragunov then goes up top for a coast to coast, but Hayes tries to counter with the first 48, and Dragunov blocks it and hits a powerbomb for a near fall. Dragunov hits a knee to the back of the head, and then Carmelo then hits a clothesline. Both men kick each other. Dragunov hits a kick and a German suplex. He holds on and hits another German suplex. Hayes then slaps Dragunov, and Dragunov tries to climb the turnbuckles. Dragunov hits some forearms to the back. This was back on. I knew this match was going to be really good. I caught the very last 5 minutes Carmelo goes up top. Dragunov chops Hayes on the turnbuckles. Dragunov hits more chops and a jumping headbutt. Dragunov then hits some chops to Hayes on the turnbuckles. Dragunov then gets Hayes on his shoulder, and he hits a Death Valley driver into the turnbuckles for a near fall. Dragunov then goes up top, and Miz pushes Dragunov off the turnbuckles onto the top rope. And then Carmelo then goes up top and hits the first 48 for the 1, 2, 3 with the assist of the Miz. It's very strange. The winner of the Open Challenge match and still the United States champion, Carmelo Hayes, which I fully expect, which they're not even started the angle, but I honestly think we're seeing Carmelo and Trick at WrestleMania for that United States Championship. It just makes the most sense creatively, like, to go that path. Maybe it starts at the Rumble. After the match, Miz begins to clap at ringside. Hayes sees the Miz at ringside. Carmelo gets angry, and Miz runs to the back. So Carmelo didn't want Miz's help after all. So we see clips of Drew McIntyre, which I didn't care to see, winning the Undisputed WWE Championship. It then cuts to Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu fighting last week. So then we go to the backstage segment, which for me was an absolutely fire-ass promo with Jacob and Cody. Hats off to both of those guys. Jacob is phenomenal on the mic. I know a lot of people don't like Cody, but when he needs to be good on the mic, he really is good on the mic. Cole asked Cody about losing the title. Cody says he would rather talk about regaining the title instead of losing the title, which refers to he wants to chase. It all goes back to the same thing. He wants to chase. Shout out to Wrestling RUS podcast for reposting the stream. Thank you. Glad to see you here. Cody says he wants to talk about regaining the title instead of that loss. Cody then talks about winning the Royal Rumble a third time. Cole then interrupts and he asks Cody about Jacob Fatu. Cody says he respects Michael Cole for asking that question. And then we get the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, enters the room. And Nick Aldis tells Fatu to get out. Obviously, that's not going to work. Cody then says it is okay, and he asks Fatu to join him. Fatu then tells Cody he was focused on Drew for kicking his teeth in. Fatu then says he does not care how Cody feels. Fatu says, you had to be the hero and put your hands on me. Fatu then says it had the wheels turning, and he was thinking. Cody interrupts, says, it didn't look like you were thinking. Cody says, you are acting. Cody then says he will tell Fatu what no one else will say. Cody says, you acted instead of thinking. Cody then says, that is what got you thrown in jail in the first place. So definitely a low blow there from Cody to Jacob. Jacob then says these are things everyone knows. Fatu then says he almost got fired before he even got hired. Fatu then says he fixed those choices and it made him a better man. Fatu then says it got him standing here right now. Cody then says he is not the champion and this match should have been for the title, which I would have loved to see that. Cody and Jacob for the title, which I think we're going to see that eventually down the line. Jacob does tell Cody, like, he's not like any other Samoan that Cody faced, that they don't make him like him anymore. Referring to Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Solo, all the people that Cody, all the Samoans that Cody faced. And I don't know if Cody's beating Jimmy, but I know he's beating Jay and Roman and Solo. Cody then says he is not the champion. Fatu then says there doesn't have to be a title match. He then says Drew was already out the door before he got involved, which that's not true. I mean, he was coming out the door, but he wasn't like out the door. I mean, he may have been winning the match, but yeah. Cody then said Fatu has never been champion, and obviously that makes Jacob stand up. Fatu then says they don't make them like him anymore. He then said, do you think he is a loose cannon and out of control? Fatu then says he is very in control, and he tells Cody to think about that. Fatu then walks away, and that is the end of the promo. Cody's doing his little facial expression he always does. Michael Cole then mentions that Nick Aldis told Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu to leave the arena so that nothing jeopardizes their match tomorrow or later tonight. It's Saturday already on the East Coast. At Saturday night main event. So that was a good sit down promo with Cody and Jacob. So we then see the former Women's United States Champion and one half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions, Chelsea Green, who is prominently figured in WWE's Unreal, and Alba Fire walking in the back, and we see Jordynne Grace standing there, and Chelsea says she wanted to talk to Jordynne, and she is a star, she needed a platform. Chelsea then offers her a place in the Secret Service. She then says Jordynne can start next week at the Royal Rumble. She then says maybe Green can start tonight and be there for the match with Jade. Grace then says she is there. So is Jordynne with Chelsea, or does she just want to go after Jade? They're really like hyping up this Jade Jordynne match. So we then get a video package. We haven't seen him in quite a while. Obviously, it's a no-brainer that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble. But we get a video package about the OTC1 announcing that Roman Reigns will be in the Royal Rumble match. I fully don't expect to see Roman on TV before the Royal Rumble. But he is in the Rumble, and he is my pick to win the Men's Royal Rumble and go on to face CM Punk at WrestleMania. So Chelsea Green and Alba Fire then make their way down to the ring for the next match of the night. Jade Cargill then follows, and Jordynne Grace makes her way out to ringside. I mean, pretty much behind Chelsea and Alba as well. This is a non-title match. WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill. I just do not like what they're doing with SmackDown Women's Championship. Even though Jade's got it, like, what in the God green earth are they doing with it? Like, oh my gosh, it's so ridiculous. Like, what are they doing with it right now? Like, when's the last time Jade defended? She ended like a 200+ day reign of Tiffany Stratton, but no title defenses. So they got to do something. Bianca needs to come back, or like she needs to defend against Charlotte or Alexa or Jordynne or somebody. Like, the match starts off with Chelsea Green hitting a splash off the top rope. She sends Jade into the ring. Jade then hits some right hands, and she picks Chelsea up. She then throws Chelsea into the corner. Jade then hits some kicks, and she slams Chelsea into the opposite turnbuckle. Jade hits a follow-away slam. Chelsea Green rolls to the outside of the ring. Jade goes to the outside, and she throws Green back into the ring. Jade then goes face-to-face with Jordynne as she gets on the ring apron. Jade then gets in the ring, but Green is on the top rope as she hits a drop kick. Chelsea Green capitalized with a double knee. Green then goes for the cover, but Jade kicks out. Jade then hits a kick to the face, followed by a powerbomb. Alba Fire then gets up on the ring apron, but Jade hits a big boot. Jade then hits the Jaded for the 1, 2, 3, a quick squash match. A lot of what we see from Jade Cargill in AEW, and it's carried over to WWE because she cannot go for a long time in the ring. I don't know. They need to do something with that title. I'm not happy with the direction they're going with this title at all. But the winner of the WWE, the winner of the non-title match of the Women's SmackDown Women's Champion Jade Cargill. After the match, Jordynne Grace asked what was the point of this. She then said, "Are you having this match so you don't have to defend the title?" Grace then says she is in the Royal Rumble and she will see Jade on the other side. She then says they could just do it now, and Jade just leaves the ring. They're not doing it right now. It's going to be on down the road. They can't afford for Jordan to take a loss. So then we go to the back. We see the goddess, Alexa Bliss, in the back, and she is with the queen, Charlotte Flair. Flair asks Alexa if she is ready. Alexa says she can focus on other things besides the team. Starting to get a little bit of friction there. Charlotte then mentions the Rumble is coming. Alexa then talks about last year's Rumble, and Flair mentions that she won. Alexa then says if Flair had won at WrestleMania, none of this would have happened. So, I don't know what's going to go on with Charlotte and Alexa. Are they planning early siege for Alexa to turn on Charlotte? So we then see Solo Sikoa, and he says the Fireflies are here, and they are in for a rude awakening. He then says it starts tonight with him and Tama Tonga. Solo then says he is declaring himself, and he will win the Royal Rumble and bring the title back to the family. He then says with this lantern, there is nothing that you or he can do. So the Wyatt Six then make their way down to the ring for the next match of the night, as they will be defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the MFTs. MFTs then follow with Solo Sikoa sending Tama Tonga to the back to protect Uncle Howdy's lantern. So it's going to be the Wyatt Six, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Lumis going up against Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. The match starts off with Tama Tonga and Joe Gacy. Tonga hits some right hands, followed by a body slam. Solo is tagged in. He hits Gacy with right hands. This was a pretty good match. Solo goes for the running hip attack on Lumis, but Lumis moves out of the way. Tama Tonga and Gacy are both tagged in. Gacy hits some right hand, followed by a kick to the face. So then back comes Solo, but Gacy hits a kick to the face, followed by a back suplex. Tama Tonga then hits a right hand, sends Gacy to the ropes, but Gacy hits a clothesline. We get a hot tag in to Dexter Lumis, and they hit the double team. Lumis then goes for a cover, but Solo Sikoa breaks it up. Gacy then clotheslines Solo to the outside of the ring. Gacy then goes for a suicide dive, but Solo hits him with a right hand. Lumis then hits a splash over the top rope onto Solo. Lumis then climbs the top rope, but JC Mateo gets on the ring apron. Lumis then hits him with the right hand, and he hits a frog splash onto Tama Tonga. He goes for a cover, but Tama Tonga kicks out. Tonga Loa then gets on the ring apron, but Eric Rowan drags him down. Eric Rowan then hits a crossbody onto Tonga Loa and JC Mateo. So, like, everybody's going to end up getting involved at some point in this match. Tama Tonga, otherwise known as Hikuleo, then comes out with the Wyatt Six lantern. Tama Tonga then hits him with a big boot, and he sends Eric Rowan over the barricade. Out comes Uncle Howdy. He walks behind Tama Tonga. He then turns around, and Uncle Howdy puts him in the mandible claw. Solo then hits Samoan Spike on Uncle Howdy. Solo then grabs the lantern, and in the ring, Tama Tonga sends Lumis into the ropes. He then distracts the referee, and Solo hits Dexter Lumis with their own lantern. Tama Tonga then hits the cutthroat clothesline for the 1, 2, 3, and the winners and the new WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the MFT, Solo Sikoa, and Tama Tonga, which I pretty much said 3 weeks ago, several times, probably over 6 or 7 times. I said it was coming. So congratulations to Solo and Tama now we have the Bloodline holds the Raw Tag Team Championships and the SmackDown Championships, and eventually it looks like Roman could be going for the Raw Men's Championship. So the Bloodline is starting to pick back up. So we then head to the back where we see Nick Aldis is on his phone. R-Truth then enters. R-Truth tells Aldis that he is here to put his balls on the line for the Royal Rumble. AJ Styles then shows up and R-Truth walks away. Nick Aldis tells AJ that he watched Raw on Monday and that AJ is putting his career on the line at the Royal Rumble. AJ then tells him he is sure he wants to do that. He then says Gunther said he retired John Cena, but it was the disrespect that he showed which pissed him off. He then says he won't let Gunther decide when his time in WWE will be up. Aldis then tells AJ that he had another reason why he asked him to come to Montreal, and then we see the appearance of none other than Shinsuke Nakamura. He asks AJ why he is willing to lose everything. AJ says if he doesn't step up to Gunther, he already lost. Nakamura then tells him before he steps in the ring with Gunther to prove that he is still phenomenal. He then challenges AJ Styles to a match later on tonight at Saturday night's main event. AJ then looks at Nick Aldis and asks him if he has a place on the card, and Nick Aldis says absolutely 100%. AJ accepts and they shake hands, and as official, fourth match added to Saturday night's main event will be the phenomenal AJ Styles, whose contract talks are all over the internet. Will be going one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. Is this a prelude because we're only going to see Styles wrestle at Saturday night's main event Royal Rumble, or are they going to drag this AJ Styles Gunther thing out to WrestleMania? We'll see. Nathan Frazier and Axiom then make their way down to the ring for their next match of the night, and Johnny Gargano is followed by his wife, Candice LeRae. Going to be Johnny Gargano going against Axiom, Nathan Frazier. So the match starts off with Frazier sitting in an armbar, but Gargano trips him up. Frazier then gets up and hits an arm drag takedown. He then gets Gargano back up, or Gargano hits an elbow to the face. Frazier then goes to the ropes, and he hits a drop kick. He sends Gargano to the corner. He climbs the second rope. Frazier falls face first on the turnbuckle. Gargano then knocks Frazier off the apron into the ringside barrier. Later on in the match, Frazier then charges into the corner. Gargano sends him into the turnbuckles. Gargano then hits a kick for a near fall. Gargano then hits a punch, and he chokes Frazier in the ropes. Candice LeRae then gets involved, chokes Nathan Frazier in the ropes when the referee deals with Gargano. Gargano then hits a chop. Frazier then gets to his feet and hits an enziguri. Frazier then hits a springboard moonsault into a reverse DDT. He continues on the attack with a springboard double sled, followed by some chops. Frazier then floats over in the corner, and he hits a sling blade. He goes up top and hits a frog splash for the near fall. Frazier then also hits a flip dive on the Gargano, but Frazier then goes up top for a Phoenix Splash, but Gargano moves. Gargano hits a kick, and Frazier hits a knee. Both men then start to exchange kicks. So then Frazier climbs the top rope, but Candice LeRae gets on the ring apron and distracts him. He then goes for the Phoenix Splash, but Gargano moves out of the way. Axiom then grabs his mask back, and he places it on Candice LeRae's head, which was hilarious. That then distracts Gargano, and Candice LeRae accidentally hits Gargano. And then Frazier then rolls him up for the 1, 2, 3. So they got a little bit of payback. They didn't get the mask, but the winner of the singles match was Fraction Nathan Frazier. After the match, Axiom thanks Gargano for the mask, but Candice LeRae steals it back and escapes through the crowd as Gargano retreats up the entrance ramp. So he won the match, but he did not get the mask back. We then head to the back where Kathy Kelly is with Nia Jax and the Bougie Bully, Lash Legend, to talk about their match. Lash says that they have proven that they are the most dominant and destructive team in WWE. And with the winners of this match tonight, it definitely cements my pick tomorrow that Liv and Rio Rhea and Io are going to retain. I was super surprised about the winner of this match. The winners of this match, like 100% surprised. Lash says they have proven they're the most dominant, destructive team in WWE. She then says it is obvious what is going to happen. Nia says they will become the number one contenders for the tag title. She then says they will then go to the Rumble and eliminate everyone together. So Nia Jax and Lash Legend will be in the Royal Rumble. Lashley said they are cohesive as a team. So we then see the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the Scottish Psychopath, Drew McIntyre, walking in the back. Undisputed WWE champion Drew McIntyre makes his way down to the ring. He grabs the mic and starts off by saying bonjour to Montreal. Drew then says he has exhausted his French, so let's get down to business. Drew then says it has been a tough time. Drew says it has been more than 30 years since the Canadians won the Stanley Cup. So Drew's not loved in Canada when they were doing the overseas tour, obviously, but not here. Drew then says, now you finally have a champion you can be proud of. Drew then asked if you saw the Jacob Cody therapy session. Drew then says it was pathetic. Drew then says he didn't kick Jacob's teeth down his throat because he would brag about it if he did. So who in the hell did it? Was it Cody or Randy? Drew then says he doesn't lie. Drew then reminds Cody that there are no rematches, which we know, Drew. You're scared. You put the no rematch clause in your contract. Drew then says you have to win the Royal Rumble, which he don't. He can win the Elimination Chamber, Drew. Wake up. Smell the roses, buddy. Drew then says you can't probably win a third time, so good luck with that. Drew then mentions tomorrow, number one's contenders match. Drew then says we have Trick Williams. Drew then says go get them, kid. Drew then says we have Damian Priest. Drew then says, a one-hit wonder, he ruined a year of his career over. Drew then says he will end his career if he faces him next week. Drew then says Randy Orton. He says Drew then says now it is a civilized Randall Keith Orton, which is his real name, who can't get the job done. Drew then says last but certainly least, Sami Zayn. Drew then says, Sammy, he knows you have a whole country behind you. Drew then says, listen to them. He then tells Sammy, you're always so concerned about winning the big one and about disappointing your son. Drew then says, it's going to be okay. Drew then says, your son has been disappointed for a long time. Drew then says he has been disappointed from the first time he opened his eyes and realized that Sami Zayn was his father. Wow, that's pretty deep right there. Drew then says he doesn't care who wins because he will do whatever it takes to keep this title. Drew then says whoever faces him at Royal Rumble, good luck because you are going to need it. We then see Ray Phoenix go to Trick Williams, and Trick tells Ray, you're welcome for making you famous. Trick then says after he beats Damian tonight and wins the Fatal 4-Way tomorrow, he will become the champion and you can have a title match. Ray then says Trick will remember him. So we then see what happened to Kit Wilson last week. Kathy Kelly is with Kit in the back, and Kit is... Well, I don't want to say Kit is over, but his theme song is very over. Kathy Kelly is with Kit. She asks about Matt Cardona. Kit says someone has to clean up the toxic masculinity in this locker room. Kit then says there are people who do not question themselves. Matt Cardona then shows up and he asks what is wrong about him. Kit then describes Matt, and Matt says it sounds like he is complimenting him. Kit then says men like you don't have any consequences and you have toxic masculinity. Matt then tells him to settle in the ring if you have a problem in the future. He then walks away, and Kit says you are toxic. All right, so we are going to the next match, which is the number one contenders match for Rhea Ripley and Io Sky's Raw or WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair going up against Flash Legend, Nia Jax, and Kiana James and Julia. They all make their way down to the ring. I don't know when the number one contender will get their match, but whoever wins will face the winner of Liv and Roxanne versus Rhea and Io tomorrow. The match starts off with all 6 women fighting in the ring. Flair, Legend, and Kiana James remain in the ring. Legend hits a spinning elbow into Charlotte Flair, and Kiana James gets Legend in the corner. Flair then hits a clothesline onto Kiana James. Flair hits a Hurricane Rana onto Lash Legend, and Legend falls to the outside of the ring. Alexa Bliss gets a hot tag. She climbs the top rope. Bliss then hits a crossbody onto all 4 women. Nia then sends Flair into the corner and hits her with a shoulder. Lash then tags in, and Flair kicks Nia, and she sends Julia to the apron. Flair then kicks Julia to the floor. Lash hits a clothesline to Flair, and it's an Irish whip, and Flair does the famous, infamous Ric Flair flip over the top, like flipping over the side of the ropes. She kicks Lash and Nia. Flair then hits a crossbody, and she hits a near fall. Julia then breaks up the cover with a knee. Julia then hits some kicks to Lash and Flair. Julia then hits some forearms and kicks to Lash. Julia then misses a round kick on Flair. Flair then hits a kick, and Flair chops Lash and Kiana. Flair then hits a kick to Lash and another chop to Kiana. Lash then keeps Flair from making the tag. Kiana then goes for the fisherman suplex on Flair, but Flair blocks it. Lash then helps out, and they get Flair up for a delayed double vertical suplex. But Flair counters into a double DDT. Julia then pulls Alexa off the apron to prevent the tag. Nia then gets Charlotte Flair up on her shoulder. Then Nia goes to the turnbuckles for a super Samoan drop, but Kiana goes under for a Tower of Doom. And Kiana gets a near fall on Charlotte Flair. So later on in the match, Alexa sets up for her sister Abigail, but Lash hits a boot and she gets a near fall. Nia then hits a pop-up headbutt to Julia, and Kiana tags in. And she hits 401k, but Lash punches Kiana. Lash then sets her up for a Lash extension and hits it, but Flair then hits a spear. And with Charlotte Flair hitting the spear on Lash Legend, Kiana James gets the cover for the 1, 2, 3. I was absolutely floored by this outcome. The winners of the triple threat match and the new number one contenders to the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, WWE Women's United States Champion, the Beautiful Madness, Julia, and Kiana James. So I guess they are next, and they are heels, so it's going to be Rhea and Io winning tomorrow night. We don't even know when this number one. The WWE loves to have these number one contenders matches, and this shit goes on for months before they even get a match. We then see Sami Zayn walking in the back. He tells Damian Priest he is frustrated and he has no problem with him. He then says he has a problem with Trick. He then says if he does anything he doesn't like, Priest tells Sami not to get involved in the match. He then tells him to stay out of it. Sami then asks, or what? And Priest says Sami knows. Sami says Priest does not get to tell him anytime. Sami then tells Priest he will see him when he sees him. He then says he has something else to deal with. Sami then walks over to the undisputed champion, Drew McIntyre. Sami then slaps Drew in the face and walks away. Prelude to Royal Rumble. So we then see Cody Rhodes stop AJ Styles and says he is not going to question the decision to put everything on the line against Gunther. Cody then says he wanted to wish him luck. We then see Drew put an autograph photo on the door of Cody Rhodes' tour bus. Like I said, guys, and I've been saying, this Cody Drew shit is far from over. Drew is still antagonizing Cody. So, yeah, we're far from done with that. We then see Kathy Kelly with Julia and Kiana James, and she asked them how do they feel about being #1 contenders. Julia says something in Japanese. I obviously don't speak Japanese, so I don't know what she said. Kiana then says Julia is already the United States Championship, and Julia is going to win the Royal Rumble. So Julia is also in the Royal Rumble. These Rumbles are shaping up to be huge. So she can be a triple champion, Kiana says. So we then get another vignette, which we get on Raw every week, and we get on SmackDown every week, of Obafemi, which he will be making his debut at the Royal Rumble. So we get to our main event of the match of the night. Damian Priest going 1-on-1 with Trick Williams. Great match. Match starts off with both men locking up. Trick then he pushes Priest. Trick sends it in a side headlock. Priest then sends it in a front face lock into a side headlock. Priest goes for a roll up. Doesn't get him. Trick then hits a punch. Trick then hits a chop and an uppercut. Priest then hits a chop on Trick. And then Trick hits an Irish whip with a suplex for a near fall. Trick then runs into a back elbow. Priest misses a round kick, and Trick hits a leaping neck breaker for a near fall. Sami Zayn then makes his way to ringside, which Damian Priest told him to stay out of it. And Trick watches him walk. Priest then sends Trick into the corner, and Priest hits some punches. Priest then sees Sami at ringside, and he says something to him. Priest then goes to the turnbuckles for an old school, and Trick kicks the rope and then ended up, it was a crotch shot for Damian Priest. Trick then kicks Priest to the floor. Trick sends Priest into the ringside barrier and apron. And after that, he puts Priest back into the ring. He throws him into the ring steps, and Trick has some. You're good, Elliot. What's going on? Just talking about the main event. We're almost done. You always can go back and watch it. It's not a very long stream tonight. Trick sends Priest into the ring steps, and then Trick has some words for Sami. Trick then sends Priest back into the ring, hits a spinning back heel kick for a near fall. So Priest then hits a flying forearm and a face plant. Priest then sets up for an elbow into the corner. Trick reverses his cyclone kick for a near fall. Trick then gets Priest on his shoulders, but Priest gets to his feet. Trick then escapes us out to heaven, and Priest hits some kicks and a rolling elbow. Trick Williams then hits a heel kick, and then followed by Damian Priest following with his own round kick. Both men are down. They both get back up. Priest hits a kick. Trick catches Priest off the ropes and hits a Uranagi for a near fall. Trick then sets up for the jumping knee, and he misses. Priest then hits a leaping flatliner for also a near fall. Priest sets up for the rebound clothesline, and Trick goes to the floor and right up to Sami. Priest then goes to the floor, and he sets up for a pounce, but Trick hits a flapjack onto the announce desk. Trick then sends Priest into Sami. Gonna set up more tension for tomorrow night or later on tonight. Trick then breaks the count, and he hits a forearm to Priest. Trick then sends Priest back into the ring, and he returns to the ring. Sami Zayn then hits a forearm, and the referee calls for the bell. So it's making everybody look strong going into Saturday Night Main Event, which I love. The winner of the singles match due to a disqualification, though, is Trick Williams. After the match, Sami punches and kicks Trick in the corner. Priest then pushes Sammy, and Sammy punches Priest. Sammy then hits a kick to Trick, and Priest hits a thrust kick to Sammy. Trick then hits a jumping knee to Priest, and just like that slithering snake, the Viper, Randy Orton, he comes up from behind, he sneaks his way into the ring, and he hits Trick with an RKO. Sammy and Randy then have some words, and then Randy hits Sammy with the RKO out of nowhere, and then he does his signature pose as the show comes to a close, and Randy Orton stands tall right before Saturday night's main event. It was a good show, guys. I probably, for a go-home show, they usually like coast, but obviously they're still building the Rumble. We've seen that Roman Reigns has declared for the Rumble. Now there's all this. We're going back to the whodunit stuff like they did with Jay, Bianca, and Naomi. The whodunit with who's the one that attacked Jacob. So they're setting up a lot of storylines moving forward. I enjoyed it. I think SmackDown is far superior since they went back to 3 hours than Monday Night Raw. But shout out to all you guys. We are almost an hour in. Sorry, I started 20 minutes late. Yeah, it was a good show. Enjoyed it. Once again, shout out to Talk It Up Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you follow them on X and give them a subscription on YouTube. And make sure to tune in to DWE Radio tomorrow, live on X and on Spotify. And also for the Royal Rumble, we will be having a DWE watch along on Twitch. You don't want to miss that. Shout out to DWE host. Shout out to Raymond. DWE replays. Raymond, again, I answered that question on Wrestling RUS podcast. And shout out to my boy Elliot that was the first one to ever buy any EVP merch. And also shout out to the 65 people that we have watching. It's super late. SmackDown is on so damn late. So it is what it is. Hopefully we'll have a good turnout tomorrow for the Saturday Night Main Event recap. But it's been a long week. I've been going since Sunday. This Sunday will be 1 week straight of straight streaming. And then I have 3 more days after that. And then Thursday, I probably have an off day. And it's back to straight grinding again. Yeah, so I'm going to send you to the outro. And then I will be back to tell you where you can find me on my socials and what I have coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Predictions Sports. Let go, show recaps predictions sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Predictions Sports. Let go.
Let's go. Once again, shout out to everybody in DWE, Miami the Great, the CEO, the head of the table. I know he's excited that Roman Reigns, I saw he posted it on Twitter, which we all knew that he was going to be in the Rumble. But shout out to Miami, Final Boss Baby, Director Reg, World of Greg, all play After the Slam podcast also as well. They all play intricate parts in helping me with my success, and especially my YouTube channel for sure. There was no matches announced next week for SmackDown, which they did the same shit with Raw. So hopefully we get something soon. That is the only stream I do not have set up for next week. But we have a whole week, so we're good up until like Royal Rumble predictions. So and then I have streams set up past there. So I'm just waiting on SmackDown to release a match. Obviously, I'm sure we'll have something go on that the center from Saturday Night Main Event. They will post something eventually, or we may just fucking put Drew on there or something. Hell, I don't know. But as far as where you can find me on my socials, obviously it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. On X, you can find me on X at EVPCJP. Instagram at EVPCJP as well. On TikTok, where I promote all of my the videos that Greg and Miami make for my stream. It's at Brady DA Goat 21. Once again, that's at Brady DA Goat 21. And last but not least, but most importantly, please follow me on all my socials and especially hit that like and subscribe button to my YouTube channel. And that is at the EVP Show. Just type it in the search bar and it will come right on up. If you guys are watching live tonight on YouTube, or if you go back and watch the stream live, please make sure to hit that like button on the stream. Even if you just watch the stream for a few minutes, just hitting that like button goes such a long way with this channel and the integration and the build up of this channel. Obviously, I'm trying to gain subscribers, but also those like buttons and them comments, it definitely goes a long way to help out on these streams, because I'm putting out content and streams every single day. So yeah, if you guys don't mind hitting that like and subscribe button, and if you go back and watch the stream, please hit the like button on the stream. And if I see any comments, I will obviously come back and answer them. But what I have coming up next, I will tomorrow night, after Saturday night main event goes off the air at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, I will be back live again on the EVP Show to give you your Saturday night's main event recap. And then Sunday, the newest show brought to the EVP Show, to the DWE family, Sunday Night Scoots with the EVP at 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday, where I will be breaking some news for the first 30 to 40 minutes, which I have a pretty good bit to say. And then I will open up questions and answer the Q&A section to anyone that's watching on X or YouTube for the last 20-25 minutes of the stream. And then we'll shut it down. I don't like to really go over an hour and 15 on that show, because obviously football is going to be on that day as well. So I'm going to be watching football. And then I will be back. Raw is back on normal time Monday. I don't really even know any matches that's announced, but the stream is set up. I will be back Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern for your Raw recap. And then doubleheader Tuesday is back. We don't have too many more doubleheader Tuesdays left until the next NFL season. But Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, I'll be joined by the CEO, head of the table of DWE Miami the Great, as we go over the conference championship recap show. And then later that night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, I'll be back for your NXT recap, which the February 2nd NXT show is going to be. They're going to have the NXT championship match, which I have some news on that on Sunday Scoops, on the two people that is creatively being discussed to win that match. Obviously, Lola Vice. I believe it's Lola Vice, Dia Hill, and Izzy Dame is going to be in a triple threat on that night as well, February 2nd. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Blake Monroe and Jada Parker that night as well. It's going to be a big show. Not this coming Tuesday, but next, the week after Royal Rumble. Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, guys. It is the Royal Rumble prediction show. I don't have full clarification on everybody that's going to be on, but I do expect a huge panel. I do know that I will have Vinny again from Suds and Square Circle Media, Lady Alpha from the Wrestling Divas podcast. I'm not quite sure about Autumn yet. I know she was supposed to be coming on, but she has some stuff going on personally. So I haven't heard one way or another. Hopefully, if everything's okay with her, she's able to come on. If not, I truly understand. Also, Miami the Great. I'm 100% sure he's going to be on. I could have Director Reg, Greg, and hopefully Final Boss Baby as well. So it's going to be a super huge panel for the Royal Rumble prediction show, which will be Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Thursday, my first off day in 2 weeks. I will not be doing anything. So don't call, don't text. Well, I'll probably be talking to Miami because I'll be getting ready for SmackDown Friday. Yeah, I don't have any streams next Thursday for the first time in 10 or 11 days straight. And then I'm back Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your go home show of Royal Rumble and the SmackDown recap. Saturday, mark your calendars, hit the reminder, hit that notification bell reminder, 8 p.m. Eastern. Since the Royal Rumble is going to be on early next Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be live for the Royal Rumble recap show. And then Sunday, next Sunday, episode 5 of Sunday Scoop. There's no football, so there's no excuses for you not to tune in. It's going to be a whole lot to talk about after the Royal Rumble. As far as news-wise, we might not have a whole lot, but we might just do a full, like, 30 to 45 minutes or an hour of Q&A, because obviously I'm not going to have a shit ton of news the day after the Royal Rumble. We'll see, though. I'll see what I can come up with for you guys for news, but I will open it up if I have a lot of news to questions and answers. So you guys tune in next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for episode 5 of Sunday Scoops with the EVP, which I've broken a lot of news that obviously other reporters are coming on and just now reporting, and that's what I'm going to be talking about Sunday. I got to get my name out there somehow too. But yeah, so that's it for me, guys, tonight. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in, and I will see you guys tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the Saturday night's main event recap. I am the EVP of the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE, and we are the ones. I would say good night, but it's almost 1 a.m. I will see you guys later tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the Saturday night main event recap. Good night, everybody.